Agreed. Dude, I've got a story here on a small town. As I said, we see what happens when the illegal migrants are running rampant in towns and communities across the United Kingdom. And today we're going to have a look at a place in Stanwell as locals are furious and scared. Some have come out to call them racist for wanting to protect their children. Let's have a watch of this.
We're in Stanwell, Surrey, a village now divided by vitriol.
Our army, our military, our soldiers come back from war, and what have they got? Nothing. They're sleeping on the street, some of them. These are put in hotels.
Do I feel that a lot of their fears have been hijacked by the racists? Absolutely.
The local hotel, once the heart of the village, is now the centre of nightly protests because of the asylum seekers who've been housed here.
Which bit is actually the hotel then?
Literally behind the fence. 29 years ago, me and my husband had our wedding reception in there. I've had my dad's wake in there, my nan's wake in there.
Can you give me an example of one of the things that's happened that you think shouldn't be going on?
Cannabis smoking. Sometimes me and my husband can't sit in the garden because we can smell the cannabis.
Up until recently, the hotel was home to families of asylum seekers, but locals are angry that they're being replaced with single men.
Sometimes you can get up to 10 walking through down the road. All of a sudden, it's just changed the feel of the village.
Why do you feel more concerned about asylum seekers walking down the road in the village than you do about any other man that you might meet?
So obviously, being a small village, we know everyone in the village. So to then have gangs of or individual men walking around that we don't know, it just makes you feel very uneasy.
Look at what you're doing.
For others, it is the protests that cause discomfort.
You're all racist. You're all racist bigots is what you are. You're provocative racist bigots.
Like you.
Across the country, we wanted to analyse the fears, but also the fantasies about asylum seekers living in luxury. Here in Blackpool, this whistleblower says she saw the exact opposite at the hotel she once worked in.
There are rats everywhere. Raw sewage was coming up through the drains. It leaks profusely all over the place. Nobody needs to be staying in those conditions at all.
Serco runs the hotel and says it's been fixed. But this family of asylum seekers say they've gone from danger in Jordan, fleeing political persecution, to demonisation in Blackpool, where protesters stand outside their hotel.
We didn't come here to looking for luxury or to looking for take your rights from you. We came here looking for safe, looking for a good place. We are not here to steal your country from you.
What are some of the things that have happened to you at the hotel?
One of people throw a fire near my head. One of people, woman, shoved to me and talk bad word. Tell me, you, why?
Almost no one seems to benefit from the use of hotels. By housing many seeking safety, they have made others feel less secure. Paul Brand, ITV News.
So yeah, thoughts on the residents of Stanwell and Blackpool. I think that proves your point though a little bit as well. I mean, that lady there I didn't understand what she was saying. Now that's part of the reason as well. She can't even speak English. Mm-hmm. And she's coming in. And one of those individuals using a case study of one hotel that had a drain problem. Like she was like, oh, they're living in rats and sewage. And there was like, she just added the rats and sewage thing in there. It was a bust pipe that had to get fixed. It was ran by Serco. It was, I'm sure it was perfectly fine. It was just, this is the picture. It was like, it got amended. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, rat-infested sewage. You just added those key words in there, didn't you?
Well, that woman said, yeah, no one should be living in these conditions. And I agree. They should be sent home. They should be deported instantly. Yeah, it's so funny how they always have this kind of like juxtaposition at the end of these stories, right, where they have to say, oh, let's get some people of minority there, get the hijab on, and quick, create a sob story. She pushed me, she called me bad words. I don't have any empathy for these people. I don't have a single part of my body that wants to feel sorry for them. When there's British girls being raped and assaulted on our streets every single day, what about them? What about their families? What about the mental issues that they will have for the rest of their life? What about the community cohesion within these small towns that are being completely disrupted by mass foreign illegal invaders who have no pre-context to coming here and just smoking cannabis and just being complete nuisances to the whole community? There is no part of my body which appeals to the empathy that they're trying to preside there.
What is through fire at my head? What is fire? A lighter? What was like? How can you throw fire at somebody?
Yeah. Was it a petrol bomb?
Yeah, like
she didn't look.
I'm sure if it was a petrol bomb, we would have known about it. But what did you throwing fire at?
She must have thought lighter.
A lighter, you reckon?
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
A match.
A lit match would go out. I don't get it. That's what I mean. They're not like fact checked on this thing. It's like she just saying that throw fire at my head.
Yeah.
Like, I've covered a lot of these protests. I've never seen anyone, a legal migrant, being attacked by anyone. They're just protesting outside.
None of these protests, are violent.
Yeah, there's been some scuffles with the Antifa mob, but that's it. But there's never been illegals getting confronted as such.
No.
It's almost like a one-way violence that the illegals are carrying out heinous acts on people in the UK. And in the UK just sat there waiting.
And you know what's really funny is that the local community are opposing this hotel because of the illegal men there.
Yeah.
But then they interview women.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's why. By the way, that interview was ITV, so obviously, be careful where you listen to your information. But as you just pointed out, the majority of them have a problem with these illegal men walking around the streets and scouring about. And most of the stories that we cover is about the fighting age males that come on over. I mean, that's the first time I've actually seen women in a hotel.
Yeah.
Actually, funnily enough, and that's no bullshit.
Guarantee you look at the statistics, I bet it's 95 plus that are men.
Yeah.
But yet they have to pick the women. And of course the women have a sob story. Look, if anything happened to them that was bad, okay, sure. We're sorry for that. But how are you not sorry for coming here and demanding protection and safety, which most likely was a fraudulent claim for asylum anyway? What political persecution could you be facing in Jordan? And is there not a single other country that can take your asylum claim?
Well, yeah. Well, it depends how they came. They didn't disclose how they came over. She didn't come over on a boat, I don't think. Otherwise,
no.
Because they're all men.
Yeah.
They're all men. Like, I don't know how our process is, but they've done an interesting job there, ITV, with that interview, as you said. But
yeah, I mean, you can see the bias, right? You can see the bias they're trying to create,
I think people have a little bit more sympathy towards women and children. That's why they use them. Like women.
Of
course. If we saw more, if it was like, again, illegals coming over, like, I don't want any of them in there. But if it was 95% women and 5% men, I think more people would have a bit more sympathy. I don't think in the right way, in terms of we don't want our taxpayers' money to go into any of the illegals. But I think people would be more sympathetic if it was just women and no men were coming and the men were staying behind and fighting for their land, so to speak. But
we're also seeing a lot of fraud with the women that come over because what they do is they come over and they bring their whole families and extended families.
I'm not like saying
of course,
that this is the thing.
I'm agreeing with you on the sort of surface level that women and children, of course, we have more empathy for. But again, we can't give empathy to them because we know the history around them bringing their families as well.
So that's why that tape is kind of bogus because, as we know, it's 95% men. I don't know if that's the official stat, but it certainly looks it that way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's been people in Dover, counting these people, and they're slim to none women and children. That crossing is too dangerous for women and children. And what we're actually seeing is maybe 30+% of people claiming asylum off of fraudulent visas. They have a university visa or an education visa. They don't even show up to the visa. They come on a jet. And the first thing they do when it enters countries claim asylum. And the biggest countries are Pakistan and India.
Your favourite, aren't they?
Favourite?
I'm fucking around, sorry. I always wanted to crack a joke. Go on. Sorry.
Favourite.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I'm gobsmacked. Yes, Dan. Yeah, they're my favourite. I actually love chicken tikka masala. We need 20 million Indians in this country right now because we need more chicken tikka masala.
Is it, again, just on that point, is that not more of like a British dish?
Even though chicken tikka masala was created in Scotland,
yeah,
we need more chicken tikka masala. We need more Indians to make it for us, so I can have it every day.
I actually, like, low key, I'm just going to put it out there quickly that, you know, I've travelled the world quite extensively, and there is nothing like a British Indian. I'm telling you now. In terms of the food, I used to think Indian food was my favourite just because of the Indian takeaways in UK. But when I go elsewhere to Indian takeaways, they do not taste the same. They're not the same, mate. They ain't the same.
You know, I actually stopped having Indian takeaways as an act of defiance against immigration, Yeah, and as well, you know, where I go, where my dad resides in Wrexham, some of the Indian takeaways have been doing grooming gangs.
Really?
Yeah, there was a real big story. Well, I think I can try and get it up here, but yeah, there was a big story. One of the biggest. It was like a new one as well. And my dad taking me, oh Dom, you gotta go. It's mint. It's really good. Cool. We get there. Yeah, he got jailed. I'm pretty sure for being part of the grooming gang. So yeah, after that, I'm like, fuck them.
Right, yeah.
Fuck them.
Just on another point quickly, while you look for that, did you know Paris has cancelled its New Year concert over terrorism fears? The Champs Elysees event has happened every year since liberation in 1944, and it has now been stopped for fears.
Interesting. So you're telling me Paris isn't safe?
Basically not. That's what they're saying.
Wow, what a surprise. What we're seeing across all of Europe is these like anti-car ramming bollards that have been put up, and I don't remember them being part of any Christmas celebration going back 20-30 years, even in my childhood in early 2000s. But hey, it just takes a couple of radicals. You know, you had last year, I'm pretty sure it was, with the German one where the guy, oh god, he I think he killed a couple of people, injured a couple hundred people. It's scary. It's scary to think that we can celebrate, you know, our Christian heritage, the birth of Jesus Christ, and, you know, Islamists see that as an opportunity to kill us en masse.
So, yeah, that's why it's been cancelled, due to fears of terrorism. Why should the Parisians have to live like that?
They shouldn't. No person in Europe shouldn't, but again, it's their own demise, and it will be our demise as well. Yeah,
well, Paris, as I said, is a lot further ahead. Did you find out about your Indian takeaway?
Yeah, there has been some historical. 9 men were convicted in 2012. The abuse took place at 2 takeaways in the town where victims were piled with drugs and drink. They were primarily of Pakistani heritage, and the abuse began in 2008. A separate 2024 case with a taekwondo instructor who groomed boys. Locations weren't mentioned, but apparently his home and car were mentioned. So, yeah, obviously happening in your local town and city, and everyone else's who's watching this as well. I'm sure, you know, you can probably tie at least one case to every single town and city in this whole country of grooming gangs operating from takeaways. Pretty sad.
But what is your favourite takeaway?
British one. Oh, good.
Well, in Britain, that resides.
In Britain, oh man, like... That's a real good question.
Chinese?
I like Korean food.
Yeah?
I really, really like Korean food. I like, you know...
Korean barbecue?
Yeah, I like the honey chicken. Oh, that's my go-to, man. When we were in Japan, God, we went to a lot of different Korean places.
They're always like all you can eat, aren't they? And you like cook it for yourself a lot of the time.
Yeah, like the fancier ones for sure. And the portions are really small in Japan, so I'd always get like 2 or 3 portions and have people looking at me like, what the fuck? That was crazy. But yeah, it's really funny because Japan doesn't really have this culture around kind of like conversing and, you know, being present at the meal. Yeah. They go in, eat, and leave.
Yeah.
And you're almost weird for like sitting at a table talking to each other. It's kind of not.
It's like food looked at as just seen as fuel.
It's just a means to an end, really.
It's quite sad.
But yeah.
Yeah. But guys, thank you for tuning in. As always, if you haven't already become a member, please do press join, and you do get the full uninterrupted podcasts on there. Do become a member. It helps us do a lot more stuff here on the channel, guys. So yeah, please do. If you can't, it's okay. Do continue to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more.